County judge canceled court for the day in the ongoing YSL racketeering trial as she considers declaring a mistrial. This comes after another misstep in court yesterday by prosecutors.
I'm told defense attorneys here are possibly talking with District Attorney Fani Willis for potential plea deals.
We're at a dramatic inflection point, and I personally believe we've seen the last day of trial in YSL.
Young Thug is moments away from being released from jail and out of the YSL Rico trial. It would be announced Young Thug and his lawyers have rejected a plea deal from DA Fani Willis. They've countered with a plea deal asking Fani Willis for probation. Fani Willis is yet to counter, as it is basically confirmed that Young Thug is going to be getting some sort of plea deal, as the DA offering it to Young Thug is massive. As a lawyer close to the YSL Rico trial even announced, breaking, attorneys for multiple YSL defendants tell Fox 5 they have made counteroffers for plea deals and they're on DA Fani Willis's desk for approval. Many lawyers assume that they're all going to be accepted for one specific reason, and allow me to explain. As it starts with rapper Slime Life Shawty, who was once signed to Lil Durk's label. He recently took the stand in the YSL Rico trial and admitted that he and others treated YSL like a gang.
Outside of the music, is YSL a gang?
You said outside of the music?
Yes, sir.
Some people treat it like that.
What do you treat it as?
I treated it that way before.
You treated it as a gang before?
Yeah.
Okay. When did you stop treating it as a gang?
I don't know. I don't remember. I don't know.
You don't know. And when you say you treated it as a gang, what do you mean? How old were you when you joined YSL, the gang?
Can you tell me what you mean by like join? Like, are you talking about?
What would you consider joining?
I'm saying, like, do you mean join like, cause you know, like to get in the gang, you join the gang, like you get up or something like that.
How did you become a member of YSL?
My music got popping and I became a known face in my neighborhood.
As this is what started the domino effect leading into the plea deals being handed out, because this is nothing new in the slightest. The judge would end up yelling at the prosecutors, saying, who cares if YSL is a gang or not? We need to see physical evidence of any of them doing something illegal, so then there can be some sort of prison sentence being handed out, because everyone is just wasting their lives with this trial. This made the prosecutors obviously very angry. DA Love would start an argument in court with the judge. This is when it was announced, this is the most preposterous thing I've ever heard in the YSL trial. The judge, mid-argument, says, what I'm trying to do is fix your sloppiness so everyone would not have wasted 10 to 12 months of their lives in this trial.
Trying to do is fix your sloppiness so that everybody won't have wasted, 10, 12 months of their lives in this trial.
Yeah, we can come over.
Okay, do it now.
The judge really messed up here. The classic arguing back and forth and saying something you were not allowed to say. She announced that she is trying to fix the prosecutor's sloppiness. She is not allowed to say this at all. This immediately got the lawyers of Young Thug's team angry, where they ended up demanding a mistrial when it would be announced. The judge makes it clear there is no chance of a mistrial with prejudice, but leaves the possibility for a mistrial without prejudice. Nicole says she would be good with that at this stage. The rest of the lawyers are discussing if they agree.
So are you asking, what kind of a mistrial are you asking for?
Your Honor, I believe that we were goaded into the mistrial.
Okay, well, I do not believe that, because if you had seen Miss Hilton's face when that came out of the witness's mouth, she was appalled. And I do not believe that they are purposefully trying to insert error into this trial to make y'all ask for a mistrial so that they can try this case again. I think it is continued, and I am sorry. Y'all have, this gigantic, ginormous universe of evidence that maybe if you narrowed down, you would not be making these kinds of mistakes. But I believe that to be a mistake.
Your Honor,
so I'm going to deny a motion for a mistrial with prejudice. That one, I don't believe that the facts bear out. Would you like a mistrial without prejudice?
This is one of the most confusing statements ever. The judge says there is no mistrial, but then moments later says there is a possibility, having almost realized she's likely going to lose her job if she continues to mess up on the case. This would end up getting the attention of rappers in the industry. Even 42 Doug explained, it feels like someone has it out for Young Thug.
Have you been tapped into the YSL case at all, and how do you think that's been?
I've been trying to watch a little bit.
Do you think it's being mishandled?
I think it should have been dismissed. The shit with the judge that just happened.
That just happened.
Crazy, like trying to send his way to jail. From the outside looking in, it's looking like they got something against him.
With even Lil Baby tweeting, Thug is about to come home for life, this madness needs to end today. As it feels awfully similar to what Boosie said about YNW Melly, who was granted a mistrial in his case and was even denied a bond instantly, even though there's a 91% chance of someone receiving a bond after receiving a mistrial. Because when the feds want you, they're gonna try any way that they can find to keep you.
Now they're putting you more charges on them, and then
when they want you, they want you. I knew they wanted them bad when they waited for that law to get passed. They waited all the way.
Penalty.
So it'd be 8-4.
Oh right, yeah.
You know, they waited all the way till that law got passed to take him to trial.
Yeah, he was in jail for what, 2 years, 3 years?
Yeah, they could have been took you to trial.
You're right.
They waited till that law got passed and took him to trial a couple months later. When they want you, man. Just don't see how he didn't get a bond after a fucking mistrial.
Yeah.
That made me like, God damn.
Yeah.
Like, after a mistrial, that doesn't happen, really.
As deals were starting to be handed out left and right because the prosecutors lost all of their witnesses in this trial, which is a major part of the case. This will result in Young Thug release from jail, as Thug's lawyers want a full release plea deal after it was reported a sanction in the YSL trial. The judge struck all testimony from a retired gang officer who said on the stand that a defendant was in and out of jail. He also can't testify again. You can tell from the DA nearly begging her to reconsider. This is not good for them.
I am finding that this was not intentionally elicited on the part of the state. However, I also am finding that this witness, as a law enforcement officer, should have known better than to make any mention of it. It is, however, significant that one of the charges against Mr. Kendrick in this indictment is that he is a convicted felon. Were it not for that, I would grant the mistrial motion. But given that this jury already knows that he's been convicted and is a convicted felon anyway, even without this testimony, I don't think that a mistrial is warranted. I am, however, going to give a curative instruction and as a sanction for this having occurred, that's the end of the testimony from this witness. There's going to be no more testimony from him. So
this is massive news for Young Thug. A tweet would then share, the judge says she would have granted a mistrial motion, but because of one of Yak's charges has him being a convicted felon already, the damage is limited. However, she rules on a sanction, the second best option, as the state is now no longer allowed to question their own witness. This means another witness can no longer provide evidence against Young Thug or YSL members. Once again revealing by a lawyer, this typically would have ended in a mistrial again. This is when Charleston White would react, sharing that if he doesn't get released over that, Young Thug may never be out. They will always find a way to keep him locked up.
Thug won't out, he ain't even been gone 2 months yet. I'm almost willing to bet. I'm almost willing to bet with any rapper, if they keep Young Thug locked up 6 more months in the conditions he in, he'll tell to get out of jail too. They keep him 6 more months, locked up in them conditions like that there, he'll tell to get out of jail too. Yeah, I tell you ain't never, man, God ain't gonna never let you out of prison. Cause he wasn't talking like another is talking. Yeah, boy, after 30 years, that got that bald spot. He got all them gray whiskers up under his beard. That used to be my color. That light yellow now, because he don't get a lot of sunlight. Yeah.
As the very scary and disturbing part is, what happened next would also usually end in a mistrial, but once again it doesn't. It was announced YSL prosecutor Fani Willis has sent attorney Adam down to the YSL Rico case to fill in for DA Love's seat as the first chair. This is coming after reports of the YSL trial allegedly being investigated for case corruption because of the words that DA Love said against Young Thug. For context, DA Love was allegedly claiming that Young Thug does illegal activities to chase money due to the type of person that he is and who he hangs around with.
What suggests that he is doing anything illegal by chasing that money?
Your Honor.
Isn't that what pretty much all of us who aren't independently wealthy have to do every day of our lives?
Your Honor, I'm not saying that it is with certainty that this is what he is saying. What I'm saying is that it is evidence that tends to, or that has a tendency to make a portion of our assertions or our allegations in the indictment true to the extent that it is relevant that he made or said that, made that statement on that posting. He is representing YSL. He is.
I mean, obviously, you know, it's all over his body, but how is the post, the language representing YSL?
As even the judge said, what suggests that he is doing anything illegal by chasing that money? Isn't that something that we all do? As DA Love throughout the argument was hinting towards the type of man Young Thug is, chases money in an illegal way. Many online looked at it like Young Thug's color of skin. One commentary even said, this is crazy because if Young Thug was white, I bet no one in the law system would accuse him of chasing money by doing something illegal. However, this is where Young Thug's lawyers saved the day, making him look amazing to the jury as they've been holding onto a piece of evidence waiting for DA Love to slip up the way she did. It was announced, gang member on a wiretap complaining that Young Thug is the richest man in Atlanta, Georgia, but he refuses to put any money back into the street. This confirms Young Thug chases money in the legal and the right way.
We was just talking about we was just really talking about Spider, like how Charlie got all these goddamn paper, but really letting these folks really just get the really ups on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't no way, bro. Like just being real, bro. Ain't no young his age. Charlie the richest young in Atlanta, Georgia, bro. Ain't you having more money than Charlie, bro? Yeah. Nah, he age. No. Like, come on, bro. Ain't having that much more money than Charlie, bro. Charlie supposed to be having shit. Charlie supposed to be clean shit up, bro. Like, no, man. Charlie supposed to be clean shit up, bro.
Like you just look, just see how it is now. Like, and they got some corny him, bro. When we was around him, bro, like, you know, we still gonna do. You know what I'm saying? We still gonna do it anyway, but like,
yeah,
you feel me? Like, man.
Shit ain't right though.
This also proves that Young Thug makes a ton of money in a legal way. However, he doesn't even want to risk it. He doesn't put even a dime back into the streets where he can get his name wrapped up in some sort of crime. This is only strengthening Young Thug's chances of getting released, and it's also why I believe DA Willis has now been offering Young Thug and his lawyers plea deals to have him out. So to understand his release date, you first need to hear the outburst by the judge in the case. As it would be announced, Judge went off on prosecutor Love, saying, and I quote, "It is baffling to me that someone with the number of years of experience that you have, time after time after time, continues to seemingly purposely hide the ball for as long as you possibly can. And I really don't want to believe it is that purposeful, unless it is you are so unorganized you are throwing the case together as you try it," as the judge then had to leave the bench to go take some deep breaths.
I mean, I can't figure out what it is. If it's disingenuous, if it is that, I mean, I don't want to, the prosecutor standing in front of me right now, so I'm not going to say the possible things that it could be, but it is baffling to me that somebody with the number of years of experience that you have, time after time after time, continues to seemingly purposefully hide the ball to the extent you possibly can for as long as you possibly can. And I really don't want to believe that it is purposeful, But honestly, after a certain number of times, you start to wonder how it could be anything but that, unless it is just that you are so unorganized that you are throwing this case together as you try it.